I am going to take this opportunity to introduce our first case study, how retail marketers increase first-party audience addressability. And it's my honor to introduce our client, Evan Remy, Senior Specialist of Data Management at Empower Agency. Evan has a strong background managing audience strategy and performance for clients who seek world-class solutions in modern data-driven advertising. Hi, Evan. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, Alex, thanks for having me. It's exciting to hear what's kind of on the roadmap with everything Pierre just presented, and looking forward to kind of adding some flavor to that with our own beta experience case study that we went through earlier this year. So without further ado, our case study today is kind of dealing more with the retail side. However, Empower is not just limited to retail clients. I'm Evan Remy, Data Management Senior Specialist here at Empower. We are coined the unholding company, and we are a creative media agency that's still independent in the ever-growing landscape of the holding companies. We serve a variety of different retail clients and CPG clients. We also have a wide variety to kind of add to that. What we provide to our clients is world-class media creative analytics capabilities, word of mouth, social marketing, and utilizing a lot of their data to power all of those different various strategies. For our retail sectors, what we're focused on, especially this year, especially given the challenges of retail during the pandemic and kind of upending everything that we had on the books for 2020, as everybody kind of can attest to, was ensuring that we were still able to reach folks in non-traditional places, or ensure that we maintain that continuity of reach throughout all the campaigns that they had going, and ensure that we were able to maximize on everything that they were seeking in terms of first-party data addressability. One of the crucial things that we have to do when we go to market is really guarantee that we're going to reach the right number of people at the right time. And it's a very difficult thing to do, especially when you're talking about advertising to devices and they aren't necessarily always people behind those devices. You want to make sure that you're working to combat, all of the fraud and scale issues that occur there. But then on the other side, once you've tackled that, you need to be able to accurately assess how many individuals you're going to reach. And prior to working with Lotame, we were having to do some kind of funky back-end media math per se, to address about how many connected TVs, about how many mobile devices, about how many browsers, be it desktop or mobile, or how many maids translate down to a person. And by using some just kind of open statistics and some of the math that we come up with, we were essentially using just division of all these different sorts of identifiers to try and get to one person. And that was never a very trustworthy or simple way to do it, but we didn't have any alternative other than using some of the more kind of elaborate methodology that was out there. When Lotame came to us with an opportunity to utilize the cartographer product, which builds into the Panorama ID, we jumped at the chance because it was going to give us an always-on instant access solution to address people and understand how many people we were going to reach. When we take in data, be it from a web pixel or a media pixel or from offline sources, all those things come over as device identifiers of one sort or another. Being able to translate that instantly to persons really helped improve our ability to address kind of that elephant in the room. How many people are we potentially going to reach? How many people did we reach with campaign activity? And how do we know we're seeing growth? So this applies not only to first-party data, but third-party data. And there's a lot of other competing players in this space. One of them being, that you could join some kind of ID consortium. And these are, rapidly available, easily available, kind of beta tested products that are still kind of coming up in the marketplace. And what you need to realize though with ID consortiums is they're kind of exclusive to those exchanges. And what's exciting about Cartographer and Panorama ID is that it's not going to be some exclusive thing. You have to opt in and consent and join and all of this. It's going to be made more openly and freely available and at a larger scale than a lot of that competition is able to provide. Additional things we looked at were potentially building an in-house solution. We run an in-house DSP, but it's not going to compete with the likes of Google or Facebook or whoever. So that can work in the open web environment in some arenas, but not across the board everywhere. Partnering with someone like Lotame provides us with, not only they do the heavy lifting on the back end, but we can then help them validate some of these things. And we'll kind of get into some of the results here and what we were able to see with our retailers. When we're talking about Cartographer, kind of taking a step back, it's able to connect that landscape, that disparate device landscape, be it if you're using cookies or mobile device IDs or connected TV IP, all of those different things that are consented, that are opted in, listening to all those different signals, being able to attribute and group them across everything you're seeing in the landscape down to an individual or a household, really help kind of push us over the line to be able to deliver to our clients, specifically address the individuals that we're going to reach. If we have an audience of, cat food purchasers who also are in market for grooming, for example, for PetSmart or some client like that, then we can simply reach out and say, okay, this is exactly how many people you guys have in your device landscape. This is how many people we can reach, incremental to what you already have on your customer file. And we can match the customer file to that data within Lotame and match back. So looking at some of the results for clients such as Famous Footwear, where we were able to bring up our device numbers from about 10 million to 20 million. So we were able to nearly double the in-market shoe buyer size. The only way that this is able to work is by validating and understanding what we're taking in from the offline landscape and putting it into the online landscape, as well as what we see in that online landscape. So essentially what we're seeing here is an increase in overall lift in availability of in-market buyers. And this is extremely crucial, especially in a down year, where what we're seeking to do is bring up that lift and ensure that we're still going to be able to reach as many people as possible and engage with them in a meaningful way. This also really helps us with new business opportunities. So if we have a new client that we're trying to onboard and win their business, we don't always have access to their first party data. So what we can do then is reach out to the landscape that Lotame provides via data store or via second party data, look at that landscape and say, okay, this is about how many people we think we're going to be able to address in market for your particular use case, for your particular need set. Additionally, when we take in offline data, like I was saying, so if we're taking in a CRM file, or if you just have an email list, or if you have a full-blown CDP, that's great, but that really only speaks to the first party data availability of that audience. If we want to enrich that data via lookalike modeling or via adding in third-party attributes, we're not going to be able to match that back one-to-one to their offline file if we don't have the capability of Panorama. What this provides us is an ability to say, we know you have 10 million in-market device households that are coming in from your offline signal, and that equates to 5 million customers. When we get that data into Lotame, we can say, okay, we received 9.5 million devices, and then Lotame's cartographer solution tells us that equals 7.58 million people. So we can get a much truer sense of real match rate between their data that they're collecting and what's actually addressable in the offline and the online marketplace. By being able to do that, that's providing us with instant data validation. And this is something that used to take a very long time to do, where we would have to wait on the device counts after a campaign had already run and compare things and do kind of an after action report on how the campaign ran. What we're able to do now is bring in the data in real time, calculate all those devices and all those individuals in real time, and then deliver that back to a client. And that's something that the buying team, that people who are hands on keyboard in the programmatic platforms are able to immediately take advantage of, because they know how to scope their campaign a lot faster than they were able to do previously. So it's helped us with instant audience enrichment, a lot more accurate predictive modeling and analytics that we can use, as well as being able to go back to our clients and ensure, yes, when you upload this data, we're going to be able to reach this many people, and it's not going to take us several days or weeks to get back to you with that number. We can get back to the clients with that sort of information a lot quicker and enrich their data and their campaigns a lot quicker. It's also assisted in improving things like being able to do test and learn campaigns, so we can multivariate test across various different sectors of an individual's kind of taste or what we might be able to experiment with. We can easily say we have this many folks in one device landscape, this many folks in another. We can start divvying those out and understanding more easily how many people we can reach that are interested in one creative versus another, and not speak so much in terms of device landscape. So overall, what this has delivered the agency is the ability to reach those individuals where they are, when they're in market, when we have that opportunity to more simply and succinctly say, we're talking in people, we're not talking in devices anymore. And that's something that, you know, the higher ups at some of these companies are always seeking to understand. Not everybody speaks perfectly that device language or that cookie language. They all want to get to person level. We're finally at person level, and it's not in a walled garden platform where it's based on, you know, users signing in to a specific platform. It is across that broader landscape. It's across that open web landscape where previously this just wasn't possible. Now we have that connected, that ability to reach those individuals where they are at any given time and provide that instant feedback to clients. So that's what's really been exciting for us, especially this year with the challenges we've faced, is still being able to take in all the information that we normally did, but address it in a more meaningful way and do it a lot more turnkey. The process, the time to market, the ability to do this in real time, that's exactly what we were always looking for. It's something that very few platforms can provide, especially in the open web environment that we're primarily focused on with our Lotame partnership. So with that said, reach out to either your client partner if you are a Lotame client, or go onto their website and check out kind of some of the resources around this, because it's something that you're going to definitely want to take advantage of in the future. And, you know, thanks to Lotame for putting this on today.